To react is Dan Henninger, Wall Street Journal editorial page deputy editor. Dan, Don Rumsfeld, when he was defense secretary, he used to do the same kind of chiding of the reporters. He'd single them out as asking idiotic questions, and he was cheered on by a lot of Americans who were fed up with the media. It kind of ended badly, but those first couple of years, people look forward to those pressers. Is the same going to happen with Spicer?
Well, it depends on the purpose of the pressers. I mean, this was pretty remarkable, and I guess we're not doing free trade treaties anymore, David. So maybe we need a free press treaty between the Trump White House and the White House press corps.
I kind of like the action, don't you?
But the thing is, David, the American public needs a credible set of facts, and this is going in the wrong direction. This is more like a Tower of Babel.
Yeah, but if they're presenting him with things that aren't true, like calling it a Muslim ban, for example, which is not true, then what's wrong with him correcting him and doing it in a hard manner?
He said Trump's tweet using the word ban was merely quoting the media. This is a distinction without a difference, David. If the president himself is tweeting that it's a ban, then the word ban is in play. And for the White House press secretary to get into this kind of debate or linguistics with the press corps is just counterproductive.
Yeah, I don't know. I see it kind of both ways, but I think one presser that we would agree on is that which John Kelly had, the new HHS secretary. Four-star general from the Marine Corps. The guy knows how to operate a complicated group of organizations and individuals. There are tens of thousands of people involved in Homeland Security. This guy, his press conference really gave me confidence that he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, and it should. I mean, because beyond this executive order, it has to be implemented, right? There has to be some detail about how people are going to be vetted, what the new visa policy will be, and presumably John Kelly and Homeland Security will be in charge of coming up with that policy set. If we can get away from the maelstrom that we have been in for the last several days and into General Kelly trying to produce some real policies to handle these people coming into the United States, will be a lot better off.
He really gave me a sense of confidence.
He should. He's a great general.
I'm glad he's there. All right, finally, since this and maybe Fox News are the only two channels that Donald Trump watches regularly, we're going to plead again for tax cuts. We need tax cuts. We've seen the market go down now several days in a row, triple digits. We've seen the GDP slip under 2% again. The economy is slipping. That's not a good thing. It really needs a jolt, and tax cuts could give it that jolt.
Yeah, I can only agree with you, David. I mean, and so the question is, how are they going to schedule all of the legislation and things they're trying to do? You've got Obamacare, repeal and replace, a heavy lift. You've got the regulations, the Congressional Review Act, which the Senate needs hours to deal with, possibly an infrastructure bill, and coming along behind that somewhere, the tax reform bill. I think that is really got to go first because it's going to be much more complicated than people anticipate.
And if the economy starts taking off because of tax cuts, all these other things might seem smaller than they do now in comparison.
And the opposite, David. If the economy does not take off, the public is going to start blaming the people in charge, and that will be President Trump and the Republicans in Congress. They really do need to lift that economy in the first 6 months.
Dan Henninger from the Wall Street Journal. Good to see you, Dan. Thank you.